All right, folks, what I want to do in this video is show you an agent workflow designed to nail your niche, craft your offer, write your presentation, and create a closing script or an enrollment script for your coaching consulting business literally in one sitting. So here is the tool I've built. This has been built inside of mindpal.space. If I show you the back end real quick here, you can see I've linked a series of AI agents or tools in a sequence to help you create those assets in record time. And I've put together a number of agents and chatbots inside of MindPal here to help you get those things done. So mindpal.space is the tool I'm using in this video. So let's go ahead and show you the tool. I call it ConversionOS FastTrack. It is a tool specifically for coaches and consultants who want to get really clear on who they're selling to, craft a compelling, modern 2025 style offer, write their presentation, closing scripts, all the main sales assets you need to get clients. So we start off here with a quick form. So what kind of business are you in? So let's just say you're a business coach working with B2B companies to generate more sales for their company on LinkedIn, okay? There's an option there to drop your sales pages or websites. If you want the tool to scrape that, it'll actually scrape your website and plug it in to your business or to the outputs to improve the specificity of the outputs of the tool. It asks you to just kind of describe your client in your own words. Just do your best there. And then optional is, to share any communities or influencers these people follow. Let's just kind of say that these are the LinkedIn followers, the LinkedIn groups, some podcasts. Again, that's optional, but let's just go ahead and hit continue here. So it just needs a little context, the best you can. And it's actually going to research the internet. So you can see it's building here. We're building out a avatar, which is basically like, who is your ideal buyer? So it searches the internet, it searches Reddit, it searches Google, it searches a lot of websites and helps you actually write out a avatar, your ideal buyer. Okay, whoops, let me just plug this in here. So in this case, it's Mark Taylor, 42-year-old male, lives in the United States. It shares some demographics, income level, education, occupation, interests and hobbies, values and beliefs, purchasing behavior, how that person typically buys, which is super valuable to have in your sales process, pain points and challenges, right? So, it's not enough to just kind of know who we're selling to. We actually want it to be written in what I call an ideal client snapshot here. And this tool, again, scrapes the internet, does market research for you, and gives you the real key elements you're going to want to have in place here. Now I can update this, I can talk to it, I can type in here. Otherwise, it just says if I click continue, it's just going to continue in the process. So for the sake of the demo here today, let me just kind of keep this going. So it says, hey, it looks like we're good to go, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just going to continue into the next agent in the sequence, which is creating our offer. So it's, again, going to ask us a few questions. Are you looking to create a new offer? Let's say, yes, we're creating a new offer. If we have another piece of another website link or any kind of a sales page, we can also add it in here to have it scrape that. What's the main problem your offer solves? So let's just go ahead and put that in here. Struggling to consistently get quality B2B clients on LinkedIn. They've tried cold pitching and posting and relying on referrals, blah, 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 blah. What's the main result you help your clients get? Again, just do your best on this. This will actually do some internet research for you as well. What kind of offer are you thinking of having or wanting to create? Let's just say it's a one-on-one consulting offer. The name of the offer. So if you have a name idea, great, use it. If not, you can just, say not sure yet. I'm open to brainstorming. What type of offer? How do we want it to be delivered? So again, this is going to be one-to-one on Zoom. Pricing. If you have a price, you could share that. If not, just say, okay, give me some ideas. It could need some help choosing. And then anything else you might be struggling with. And once we answer a few questions here, it's going to start writing out quite a bit of stuff for us. So it's like, maybe I'm not sure how to package this so it feels unique, etc. Right? So we answer a few questions up front in the tool, and it's going to create what's called a premium offer one sheet. So this sheet literally, folks, is all you need to start getting clients in your business. Okay. So it's going to start writing these things out. And and it's going to give you something you can literally copy and paste. You can just upload this to a PDF afterwards or copy and paste it into a Google Doc, whatever you want to do. So so the name it gave it, the LinkedIn Authority Accelerator. It's going to give it a tagline, which is basically like a very concrete statement of what the program does. It's going to talk about the core problem that these B2B professional founders and consultants struggle with. It's going to give you some benefit bullets for your program. So what does your program help them do? Okay. The deliverables, like what recommendations of what you include in your program, some optional bonus ideas, pricing. So it's actually going to scan the internet and find pricing recommendations for you for your new program. And then literally you can just copy and paste this into a doc, or at the end, you can just output all of this into a PDF, okay? So again, you'll have an option to say, do you want to change anything? If you have anything to change, you can just type it in there, or you can just use the little voice icon if you want to just talk to it. Let's just say we like what we got for demonstration purposes. Now what it's going to do, now that we have an offer, what we want to do now is create a sales presentation. So it's going to actually craft a sales presentation. So it needs to know a couple things like your name. So let's just give it my name here. Let's just say John Schumacher, if I could type today. And it's going to want to know a little bit about like how you got started. I mean, everything else it's going to pull from the offer. It's going to pull from the avatar that we already built. So all of this kind of compounds on itself, which is cool when you build out these agent flows. But it's going to want to know kind of like, what were you doing before you decided to help people with LinkedIn? Were you struggling yourself, or what were you doing? Describe the moment that you decided to teach or share. Maybe there was something that hit you. And then what have you done afterwards? Like, have you used it with a lot of different clients, et cetera, et cetera? Did you build out a program, write a book? Like, what did you do afterwards? And so when you share that, coupled with the stuff that we've already got, your ideal buyer, all of those kind of things, it'll actually start writing out a presentation outline for you, okay? So it's going to start writing out some what I call high interest headlines here. It's moving a little slow here today, it looks like. How B2B consultants are filling their calendars with dream clients using LinkedIn, no cold outreach required. This is good. Recommended headline, how to consistently book qualified sales calls on LinkedIn without ads, spam, or feeling salesy. That's really good. Okay, and then it's going to give you some bullet points for your sales presentation. And then it's actually going to start writing out, the slide outlines for you. It's going to start writing those for you and actually start, building those things out for you. It's moving a little slow here today for some reason, of course, as I'm demoing this. But it's actually going to go slide by slide, kind of section by section, and write out the slides here for you. Okay. So multiple attempts. So, so we always want to start with what I call an intrigue open. So your agenda, what are the big things you're going to cover? You want to kind of hook them in early. Then we're going to do what's called framing the opportunity. Again, this system is built on my frameworks, and I've helped my clients generate millions of dollars with presentations. Okay, so it's going to talk about their desires, the difficulties, their failed attempts, and the discovery. Then it's going to tell a discovery story, which is kind of your framework for like how you discovered what you're sharing on your presentation. Then it's going to start writing out the content sections. So I call that your roadmap to results. So it's going to start writing out those pieces there. You can see it's kind of speeding up a little bit now. It's going to write out all of those sections. And it's going to, you can always adjust this stuff as well. You can see it's 67 slides. And this is I have a tool called Webby that goes deeper than this. This is going to kind of just write you an outline quickly that you can use for your sales presentations. And of course, you can speak to it at the end and sort of like update it. So let me know if you'd like any tweaks, or if you want the full slide-by-slide copy. So it sounds like it'll actually go ahead and do that for you. You can say, hey, let's refine your presentation. If you have anything to change, great. If not, you can just hit the continue area here. And it's going to say, let's finalize. So it's just going to say, looks like there's no changes. Let's continue. And then the agent workflow is going to now write a sales call script for your business. So I'm writing your sales call framework. So your sales call framework is a conversation framework is just, after the presentation's over, or if you're having a one-to-one with them, how do you enroll them into your service? In this case, this consulting service. So there's a section on how to open the call and have what's called an opening question, deepening questions in here as well. Like how do you, the first 20, 25 minutes or so of a conversation, what questions do you ask? How do you lead the conversation? Then it's going to talk about sharing sharing your offer, all those kind of things. And then, locking in the commitment, handling objections. It's even going to give you a template you can use to create a visual. If you're on Zoom, you can share that. And then, if you have any feedback, you can obviously do that. Otherwise, you'll now have all of those assets done literally in one sitting. And again, you can just say, hey, great, you can do this. You're welcome to save this or whatever. If I come back up to the top here, I can export this as a PDF file. Or just continue to kind of work on each of these sections here. So you can see like we have, a clear client avatar. We have a document that outlines who our ideal buyer is. We have an offer, one sheet we can use to actually share our offer on Zoom or with others to get feedback or to actually close clients. We've got a sales presentation outline that we can use to enroll, clients and present on Zoom. And we also have a conversation script that we can use all in one sitting. Okay, we can export it, we can use it. I have other tools that you can go deeper on some of these things. So pretty cool stuff. Again, mindpal.space is what I've built this on. If you're interested in this kind of a tool, I have a program called ConversionOS. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you're interested in that. I'll be launching that. This is kind of a beta version here, so this may look slightly different in the final version, but pretty cool stuff, pretty cool times we live in. If you'd like to, nail your niche, create your premium offer, create a sales presentation, create an enrollment script for your business so that you can start getting more clients more confidently, this is the system to help you do that. Gone are the days of bloated courses. I've trained my brain into these tools. I've been selling online now for over a decade, generated millions of dollars for myself and clients. So this is my brain in these tools. Pretty cool stuff. So anyway, thought I'd share this. Hope you're doing well. I look forward to seeing you in another video soon or another presentation soon. I'll be hosting live webinars soon around this topic. If you'd like more information on this, just comment ConversionOS down below. And I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.